Right now, while you're watching this video, there's a country where robots deliver your coffee, where you can diagnose diseases before they happen, and where entire cities run on technology that seems pulled straight from science fiction. But here's the twist. This isn't some distant future. This is South Korea, today. And while the rest of the world is living in 2025, South Korea is already experiencing what 2050 looks like. The question isn't whether the future is here. The question is, how did they get there first? Let's start with something simple. Imagine waking up in the morning, and before your feet even touch the floor, your AI assistant has already adjusted your room temperature, prepared your coffee based on your sleep quality data, and scheduled your day around real-time traffic predictions. Sound futuristic? In South Korea, this is just Tuesday. But to understand how South Korea became the world's living laboratory for the future, we need to go back. In 1953, South Korea was one of the poorest countries on Earth. The Korean War had left the nation in ruins. There was no infrastructure, no industry, and the average income was lower than many African nations at the time. Fast forward 70 years, and South Korea is now the 10th largest economy in the world, a global leader in technology, and a cultural superpower that's living decades ahead of everyone else. So how did this happen? The answer lies in bold decisions, unique cultural characteristics, and a national obsession with not just catching up to the world, but surpassing it entirely. Let's talk about internet speed first. South Korea has the fastest internet in the world, and we're not talking slightly faster. The average internet speed in South Korea is over 10 times faster than the global average. Entire movies download in seconds. Video calls happen in crystal clear 8K. And this isn't just in Seoul, even in rural mountain villages, you'll find internet speeds that would make Silicon Valley jealous. But here's what most people don't understand. South Korea didn't build fast internet just because it's convenient. They understood something fundamental. Infrastructure isn't about the present, it's about enabling the future. When you have internet this fast, this reliable, this accessible, innovation doesn't just happen, it explodes. And explode it did. Today, South Korea is home to some of the most advanced robotics in the world. Walk into a Korean cafe, and your coffee might be made and delivered by a robot. Go to a restaurant, and robotic servers glide between tables with precision. Visit a hospital, and you'll find surgical robots performing operations with accuracy no human hand could match. South Korea has integrated artificial intelligence into everyday life in ways that seem almost magical. Medical AI can detect certain cancers earlier and more accurately than traditional methods. AI tutors help students learn at their own pace, adapting to each individual in real time. Even the subway system uses AI to predict maintenance needs before problems occur, virtually eliminating delays. Transportation is where South Korea's vision of 2050 really comes alive. Self-driving buses already operate in several cities. The government has created entire zones for testing future transportation technology. And here's the ambitious part. South Korea plans to have flying taxis operational in major cities within the next few years. Not concept vehicles. Not distant dreams. Actual flying taxis that regular people will use to skip traffic and soar above the city. Think about that. While most countries are still debating self-driving cars, South Korea is preparing for a world where you'll call a flying vehicle from your phone like you order food today. But technology is only part of the story. What makes South Korea truly feel like 2050 is how seamlessly they've woven technology into daily life. In Korea, your phone isn't just a communication device, it's your wallet, your ID, your medical record, your transit pass, your key to virtually everything. The country has created a digital ecosystem so comprehensive that cash is becoming obsolete. Even street food vendors accept digital payments. Smart cities are another realm where South Korea is decades ahead. Songdo, a city built from scratch on reclaimed land, is often called the city of the future. Every building, every street, every public space is connected. Trash is collected through underground pneumatic tubes. Traffic lights adjust in real time based on traffic flow. Energy consumption is monitored and optimized automatically. The entire city functions like a living organism, constantly adapting and improving itself. And Songdo isn't alone. Sensors monitor air quality and adjust traffic patterns to reduce pollution. Smart streetlights brighten when pedestrians approach and dim when streets are empty. Buildings communicate with the power grid to optimize electricity during peak hours. Now let's address the question everyone's thinking. How did South Korea do all of this? What's the secret ingredient? The answer starts with education. South Korea didn't just invest in technology, they invested in people who could create technology. The education system is legendary. Korean students consistently rank among the top in the world in mathematics and science. But more importantly, the culture emphasizes not just learning, but applying that knowledge to solve real problems. Then there's the poly culture, the hurry mentality that defines Korean work ethic. When South Korea decides to do something, they don't just do it, they do it fast and thoroughly. When other countries were planning smart city initiatives, South Korea was already building them. When other nations were discussing 5G networks, South Korea was already deploying them nationwide. Government support has been crucial too. South Korea's government actively invests in innovation, creates supportive policies, and removes barriers. They designated entire districts as special technology zones where companies can test innovations with reduced regulations. They offer tax incentives for research and development. They partner with private companies to fund moonshot projects that might take decades to pay off. But perhaps most importantly, there's a national mindset that refuses to settle for second place. This is a country that went from having nothing to competing with, and often beating nations that had centuries of head start. There's a hunger to innovate, to improve, to be the best. Let's talk about healthcare. South Korea has embraced telemedicine and digital health in revolutionary ways. You can consult doctors via video call, receive prescriptions digitally, and have medications delivered within hours. Health records are digitized across the entire system, meaning doctors always have your complete medical history. But it goes further. South Korea is pioneering predictive healthcare, using AI and big data to identify health risks before they become serious. Wearable devices monitor everything from heart rate to blood sugar, feeding data into systems that alert you to potential issues weeks before symptoms appear. This isn't just treatment, it's prevention at a level that saves countless lives. And then there's the cultural explosion. K-pop, K-dramas, Korean films, Korean beauty products, Korean food. South Korea has become a cultural superpower influencing trends worldwide. They're using technology to amplify this reach in unprecedented ways. Virtual K-pop concerts where holograms appear simultaneously in multiple countries. AI-generated content adapting to local languages. Augmented reality experiences that blur the line between digital and physical reality. If you're enjoying this journey into South Korea's incredible transformation and want to see more videos exploring how Korea continues to shape the future, make sure to subscribe to this channel. We're constantly uploading new content diving deep into different aspects of Korean innovation, culture, and achievement. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss discovering more amazing stories about how South Korea is leading the world into tomorrow. Let's talk about something even more ambitious: space. South Korea has entered the space race with characteristic determination. They've successfully launched satellites, developed their own rockets, and have plans for lunar exploration. This is a country that went from war-torn poverty to launching rockets into space in just 70 years. The financial technology sector is equally advanced. Digital banking has evolved beyond most countries. You can open accounts, apply for loans, invest in stocks, buy real estate, and manage your entire financial life from your phone in minutes. The country is even exploring a national digital currency that could eventually replace physical money entirely. Education technology is another frontier. Virtual reality classrooms allow students to visit ancient Rome, explore the human body from inside, or conduct chemistry experiments without dangerous materials. AI teaching assistants provide personalized help to every student. Students in rural areas have access to the same quality education as those in Seoul, thanks to remote learning systems that feel as natural as physical classrooms. Even entertainment and gaming have reached future levels. Korea's gaming industry creates entire virtual worlds where millions of people work, socialize, and live parallel lives. Esports stadiums rival traditional sports venues. Virtual reality arcades offer experiences so immersive that the line between game and reality becomes genuinely blurred. The retail experience is like shopping in the future. Stores with no cashiers where you pick up items and walk out, automatically charged through your phone. Virtual fitting rooms where you can try on clothes without changing. AI shopping assistants that know your preferences. Drone delivery services bringing purchases to your door within hours. Here's something that captures Korea's future-forward thinking: their approach to aging. With one of the world's oldest populations, Korea is pioneering technologies to help elderly people maintain independence. Robot companions provide company and monitor health. Smart homes can detect falls, remind about medications, and connect to emergency services instantly. Exoskeleton suits help elderly people maintain mobility. This is a country that sees challenges and turns them into opportunities. What ties all of this together is infrastructure that makes it possible. The fastest internet in the world. A smart, reliable power grid. Efficient transportation networks constantly improving. Regulatory frameworks encouraging experimentation while maintaining safety. Investment in research and development that dwarfs most nations. But beyond the technology, there's something else that makes South Korea feel like 2050. It's the mindset. It's a society that looks at the impossible and asks why not. It's a culture that values education, hard work, and continuous improvement. It's a people who remember being poor and are determined never to go back. That combination of historical memory and future ambition creates an unstoppable force. The transformation of South Korea from one of the poorest nations on Earth to a technological wonderland decades ahead of everyone else is more than just an economic miracle. It's a testament to what's possible when a nation commits to a vision, invests in its people, and refuses to accept limitations. Today, when the world looks to the future, they increasingly look to South Korea. Not just for technology, but for inspiration. Because South Korea proved that your starting point doesn't determine your destination. That poverty doesn't have to be permanent. That with the right combination of education, investment, innovation, and determination, you can build a future others can only dream about. So when we ask how did South Korea get to 2050 while the world is still in 2025? The answer is this: they decided that the future wasn't something to wait for, it was something to build. They didn't ask permission to innovate. They didn't wait for perfect conditions. They took what they had, which wasn't much, and built it into something extraordinary. And the most exciting part? They're not done. South Korea continues to push boundaries, to explore new frontiers, to imagine and then create technologies that will define the next decades. While the world catches up to where Korea is today, Korea is already building what tomorrow looks like. That's not just impressive. That's inspirational. That's the story of how a nation that had every reason to give up instead chose to lead the world into the future. And that future? It's already here. You just need to visit South Korea to see it.